Uh-oh, Brian. How are we gonna skibbity Rizzler out of this heckin' mess?
Shut the fuck up. Shut your fucking mouth.
Well, Brian, it's not the movies we fortnighted, but the friends we chicken dinnered along the way.
He's right behind me, isn't he?
This is all the power you ever had. Now it is mine. Pity there is not more time for us.
You tell him it's open season across suckheads.
You are left. No more clowning around. Fire!
Is that gasoline I smell?
No, man. No!
Skibbity Riz, Ohio.
Ohio Gyat Skibbity. Brian, how are we gonna Skibbity Rizzle our way out of this one? I was joking. Now I'm for real.
I really actually do want to Skibbity Riz. Can we just call this episode already? That was such a
Yeah.
Goofy.
Is there any bullshit you want to get out of the way before we fucking bullshit about the movie?
I mean,
or do we want to just fucking rip this fucker off like a band-aid?
I mean, I could talk about other movies I've seen that were like good in the meantime. If you're looking, hey listener, if you're looking for a positive viewing experience to do other than Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, I mean that doesn't really fit in the purview of our podcast, but Megalopolis was genuinely a better time than this movie. Megalopolis insane, but fun. And that's all you can ask for. This movie, just painful. Yeah, but I was gonna say The Others. I watched a Nicole Kidman movie earlier today, and it's a Nicole Kidman ghost horror movie for Halloweeny times. So if that's you, if you're a Halloween fan,
if you're a Halloweener,
go check out The Others with Nicole Kidman. It's not overly subtle, but it's also, I don't know, it's got a nice enough twist in it that I was the only person in the room who like saw it coming. So that's a pretty good sign that it's it's kind of interesting, and you'll have a better time than watching this one. I'll tell you that much. Okay.
Yeah. Is that a new one, or is that just a movie you happened to see recently?
That is just a movie I watched today.
Hell yeah.
My friend recommended it and I said, okay.
I talked last week I was going to go see Megalopolis and I ended up not doing it. I do want to see it. Do you know there was a cut feature from that movie that never made it to theaters, where one of the characters at one point the audience would be able to ask them a question and would choose your own adventure style affect the outcome of the movie?
I heard about that. And that would be crazy. That'd be a crazy thing to do. Not to say like don't do that ever. If you could manage that, cool. But
the Clue movie was kind of already that.
Yeah, the Clue movie did that, sorta.
I mean, it just had a random ending.
For this Coppola movie, it was just like so overblown. The budget was so huge. And it already made no money, so adding more on top of that just seems like it would have been the act of an absolute maniac, you know. And
listen,
I mean, Coppola maybe is kind of a maniac. Okay,
if a dying rich man wants to spend all of his fortune to make a movie and sexually harass everyone on set, who am I to say no? You know, who am I to judge in that situation?
Who am I?
Let those of us who would not spend millions of dollars to make a shitty movie and sexually harass everyone on set cast the first stone.
You know, as somebody who would not like to sexually harass everyone on set. I feel like
You don't
that part
now,
could be left behind.
but if you had millions
You
of
know,
dollars,
that's true. If you become a millionaire, then you will just want to sexually harass everyone around you. That's true. You make a good point. Compelling point. Okay. Yeah, that's but that is really the story of Megalopolis. And I gotta say, I did watch it. You know, a shitty cam rip, but I still watched it. And here's the thing. That movie is legitimately really fun in a lot of ways. It's not good. The fun you're having is going to be looking at it and going, "What?" a lot of the time. But you will have some fun watching it. Um, and also the costuming is legitimately really fucking cool in the movie. And that's the only real flower I can give the movie, you know. I don't know. Can we just talk about that instead? I don't want to talk about fucking Deadpool and Wolverine, okay?
We have to. But I actually want to I haven't brushed up on Megalopolis, so I can't fucking talk about it yet. But I do want to I do want to talk about another movie that we have both seen. That
Okay.
This is maybe a sneak preview because we gotta fucking make plans, I think, to do a podcast episode on Johnny Mnemonic, because holy shit, that movie kicked ass.
That movie, that's one of my favorite movies, legitimately. It's really up there. It sounds like a joke, but
I think I was talking to you about this earlier. You haven't seen the black and white release yet, have you?
I have not seen the black and white release, no.
Yeah, that's like the director's, like, it's not quite a director's cut because it still has, like, doing a recut of the movie is impossible at this point, according to him in an interview I read. But it is much closer to what his vision for the movie would be, which is like, he's like, yeah, I wanted the movie to be like Alphaville.
You're like, what?
Alphaville? It's like a fucking French movie. What is it?
Oh.
What? It's by some fucking pervert that you probably know about.
I mean, if it's a pervert, I do probably know about it. It's true.
It's by Godard.
Okay, yeah.
Jean-Luc? Yeah.
Jean-Luc Godard? Yeah, okay, yeah.
And it's like some fucking French movie in black and white. It's like a noir movie, and that's like what apparently the movie was supposed to be, is like this sleazy noir movie, but during fucking production, I'm blowing my load on all my fucking Johnny Mnemonic trivia I looked up in 20 minutes. During production, basically, like, Crash got really big, and then TriStar also, their big tentpole summer blockbuster fell through. So you're like, oh, we'll just make Johnny Mnemonic the blockbuster. And that's not what anyone who was originally involved in the movie wanted it to be. So the black and white cut, by inshitifying it a little bit, brings back that original crust vision.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, hey, you gotta love a little bit of enshittification for quality. I mean, frankly, you know, speaking of movies that could really require a little bit of enshittification to make them better, Deadpool and Wolverine really could have used some shittification to make it a better movie. Legitimately, I know that sounds like a joke.
Are we just gonna fucking hop right into this?
I don't know. I just I can't stay away from it.
Okay, let's fucking.
Yeah. I don't know if I have a lot to say about it, but I also just like, this movie feels like a thorn in my mind right now.
Someone casts mind sliver on you.
Yeah, seriously. It's like, what the fuck just happened? You know?
Yeah. So like, I don't want to say that Ryan Reynolds is personally responsible for every single shitty line that Deadpool said in the movie, because I can't prove that for a fact. But like, would I be surprised if that was the case? No. Not at all. Do I think he was directly responsible for most of the shitty lines he said in that movie? Yes, probably. He's like fucking, like, this podcast episode, by the way, sponsored by Mint Mobile. He's like fucking like the least funny person on the planet, I think. And I do think there's a lot of himself in this Deadpool character. He seems to have based his entire brand around being the guy who is Deadpool at this point, you know? Like he's got that fucking maximum, but even then he's also like infected Deadpool with a lot of his own personality in a way too. Because you're looking it up. One of the things fucking Deadpool says in all three of these movies, which I saw the first two when they were in theaters and never again, so I'm fuzzy on the details. But he says the phrase maximum effort a lot in them. And I wanted to look that up because I'm not the biggest comics nerd, but I don't remember that being like a Deadpool catchphrase outside of the movies. And it is something that Deadpool said in one comic in 2009. And
that became Ryan Reynolds' fucking inroad into the character.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And it just sucks. It just sucks. It's just such a Reddit fucking catchphrase. You know? I'm a stoic Giga Chad, Deadpool.
It doesn't feel like a Deadpool line.
Yeah.
At all. To me. It feels like something else. I don't know. Like,
well, what is a Deadpool line to you? He didn't say chimichangas in this movie. That's something.
Like, Deadpool line would be like winking at the camera. Like, as much as I hate it, like winking at the camera over and over again about like, you know, how the fourth wall doesn't exist between him and you. And it's just like, okay. And some of that's okay sometimes. But this is like the fourth Deadpool movie.
30.
And wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, this is the third Deadpool movie. They're out of stupid shit to say. And so they're having to really scrape the barrel for all the most trite things to say. And it's genuinely aggravating. I just don't know how many times you can say, you like having a scene where back to back you had a well, that just happened, and then he's right behind me. Like, seriously, right next to each other. These two things happen.
Yeah.
It made me feel crazy.
And like 50% of the lines, I feel like, maybe not 50, but like at least like 25% of his lines seemed like they were like literally just meta jokes about Disney, you know? And like, I get that breaking the fourth wall is part of Deadpool's character. He does do it in the other two movies, but not at this frequency, not even remotely at this frequency.
Yeah. And also just like, I don't know, commenting on how who owned the IP between things just feels like so gross to me. Being like, oh yeah, well, we're a Disney film now. You know, they literally put a broken Fox Fox Searchlight or Entertainment or whatever the fuck thing in the desert, where they get spit out into like a negative garbage universe. And it's like, oh yeah, okay, so that's where the Fox Entertainment sign is, because that used to be who owned the property, and now it's now it's Disney, so they can make jokes about how Fox sucks and Disney rules, but also make jokes about how Disney won't let them swear and then swear all the time. I don't know. Just like it's too much. It's just too much. They need to chill out. They need to chill out on that. Like, make meta jokes about how you're like.
I even think like one Disney
you are
would be
like
appropriate.
Yeah,
you know?
one would be okay.
And you can even be like, you can even be like tasteful about it. Like, you, instead of like having like what if Deadpool had like, here, let's think of some tasteful like Disney jokes that could be made, you know? Because I think Ryan Reynolds, let's put ourselves in the writer's room for the Deadpool movie, right? What if Ryan Reynolds like he starts a film and like he's jerking his fucking beepus and he's got like a cum rag with like Mickey Mouse all over it, but he doesn't like fucking like the camera like makes the joke for him. He doesn't have to fucking open his mouth and say anything.
Yeah, that'd be good. Or maybe I like being like, hey, watch the language, and then doing like, hey, watch the language in like a Mickey voice would be kind of funny, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like all these things that kind of like reference but don't directly say, hey, we're owned by Disney now. Which is just like, A, not funny, and B Fuck you. Yeah. Also, I before I forget, I looked it up. Okay, I looked at Wikipedia, and Wikipedia says that Deadpool and Wolverine was in fact a screenplay written by Sean Levy and Ryan Reynolds together. Oh, and a couple other people. So he definitely was in on the writers' room for doing this. Ryan Reynolds. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
I think I hate him personally. I think he's up there with Zack Snyder for me. I think what Zack Snyder is for directing, Ryan Reynolds is for acting.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I want to give him that much, because there's definitely probably other actors that I could think of that I'm like, ooh, fuck you. But like,
yeah,
he's up there. He's up there. He's definitely one of the more annoying ones to me. Yeah.
Who's your most annoying actors to your list? If you got to pick three. I'll give you one. Tough. I'll give you one from mine. I really maybe I'll get fucking canceled for saying this. I really do not care for Awkwafina.
Same. I don't like Awkwafina. I think I dislike Ryan Reynolds more than Awkwafina.
I think you're right on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Awkwafina is very annoying and not very good as an actor. But I'm thinking like probably what's his name? The fucking struggling. The guy who whenever Mike Rowe shows up in something, I feel personally offended.
Mike Rowe?
Yeah.
Does he act in anything?
He doesn't act very much. Every once in a while he shows up in something. Every time I see it, I'm just like, this needs to go into the garbage.
What do you think about Tim Allen?
I actually think Tim Allen is fine. I know he's a bad person, but I think he's fine.
I'm really sad that they scrubbed the official Tim Allen discussion forums off of the internet from his website, because that was really a treasure that not many people knew about. And I really, there's no archive. It's so sad. Adam Sandler from our live studio audience. I see, the thing is, I hate a lot of Adam Sandler movies, but I love Adam Sandler so much.
Yeah, I hate Adam Sandler like 90% of the time. But when he hits, he fucking hits. Like, my God. So it's hard to put him in there, because it's like, I know he can.
Yeah.
He just often won't. Because, you have the highs and lows. You have your you have your Uncut Gems, and you also have your Hubie Halloweens.
You have your Jack and Jill.
Did you ever see Hubie Halloween?
I did not.
That movie made me want to scream.
Yeah. What do you think about like the old classic Adam Sandler movie? Do you like Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore?
No, but they're like, okay. They don't make me mad. They're okay.
I kind of like them, but it's been a long ass time. What about shit.
Okay. Who else is fucking awful? Shia
LaBeouf.
No.
No.
Shia LaBeouf is okay sometimes. There's a lot of bad stuff, but he's okay sometimes. He was really good in this great movie called Megalopolis. Where he was hired for being problematic. Amazing stuff. The stories behind Megalopolis, folks. I'm so tempted. We could probably actually do an episode on it, because it's insane. I just like,
I might have to go see it.
It's not edgelord, but like,
I'm willing to make an exception for clout sharking, if it's
no, for sure. And everything behind the scenes is insane. Everything that happens on camera is insane. The like curation of the set is like hilarious. There's like this movie that's like more than $1 million to make, right? There's Straight up, a boom mic shows up on stage at some point. Apparently, like just no quality control. I don't know. It's baffling. It's a baffling movie. Oh, okay. Who? But who? But who? But who? But who?
I'm having a hard time thinking of actors you hate.
I am. I'm just. What's the Christian
Nolan
guy?
North. I know, he's mostly a voice actor. He did fucking Nathan Drake and fucking Desmond from Assassin's Creed. He's not really a Hollywood actor. He's
I don't like
voice
his
actor.
I don't like his face. I don't like his face at all, though.
Yeah.
What's the guy that does like all the Christian movies though? The one that was like really popular.
Tim Allen?
No. Jim Caviezel.
She jam on my Caviezel till I repent.
Yeah, Jim Caviezel. Fucking dead. That movie's dead. You know.
Yeah.
You get Jim Caviezel on something, and you know that you're gonna see like soap opera acting, and it's all gonna be about like praising Christ, and not good. Honestly, a couple of them. Kirk Cameron also very much that vibe. I don't know if I want to say Kevin Sorbo, but Kevin Sorbo is also in that zone. Kevin Sorbo's not as bad as the other ones though. Kirk Cameron and Jim Caviezel really can't act.
I don't think I recognize either of the names, so
you might recognize them if you saw them. Okay, that's a couple. That's actors I hate. Okay, there you go.
It's a fun little game. Brian Reynolds, I still think is near the top of the list for me because he just keeps showing up in movies I want to see. And honestly, maybe this is a controversial statement to make, but I honestly don't think that from like a 10,000 mile view, like if you're like in the helicopter, like watching this movie, watching the writers who are making this movie, like from a fucking far out view, the idea of like Deadpool goes into the trash world and teams up with / kills a bunch of MCU reject dumpster heroes. If you're going to make a Deadpool MCU movie, I think that's probably the way to do it, right? Like there literally is a comic run like Deadpool kills the MCU, and it, like, again, I'm not a huge comic guy, but people seem to like that run of Deadpool. And like,
yeah,
if you're gonna do the interconnected universe thing, then like that's like having the whole multiverse, because like did you watch Loki or whatever? Did you know what the fuck? I'm interested in knowing if you, because I made the mistake of fucking watching Loki because I was down bad for shows. Yeah. I think. So what did you think of like the fucking TV, the Time Variation Authority or whatever the fuck it's called? Did you know what the fuck was happening with that? Was that legible at all to you?
Well, I mean, it made sense like immediately.
Okay, that's how I thought it would be, but
yeah, it's not like they were confusing. It's like, oh, we got time cops. I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I thought it would come across to someone who hadn't seen Loki. Loki is like all about that shit, and like the idea is like they like arrest people who are from like parallel timelines and shit like that. So you can just have like fake non-canon versions of literally any MCU character and have Deadpool kill them and not have to worry about your continuity or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So like that,
and there were some kind of funny moments with that. Like when they showed up with like, they showed up in the world and it's like, oh, it's Captain America. And they're just like, no, he's the fire guy from Fantastic Four. And it's like, okay, sure. Fuck it. That's fine.
Yeah. Or fucking Wesley Snipes in the movie.
Yeah. Fucking, they actually got Wesley Snipes to come out of hiding from tax evasion, being on the run. And now he's back for Blade.
Did I tell you, that a former coworker of mine at one point had a run-in with Wesley Snipes?
No, but that's awesome.
He worked in a movie theater, right? And this was like at the peak of the tax evasion arc. And like some guy in a suit came in and is like, hey, Wesley Snipes is going to come into the theater. He's going to walk in through the door and go to the theater. Don't say his name. Don't look at him. Don't acknowledge his existence. And then Wesley Snipes just walked through the theater to the movie. And didn't talk to anyone.
Hey, that's beautiful. Oh my god. Also, back one last thing for the movies. The actors are it's coming to me telepathically from the audience that Robert Downey Jr. deserves to be on that list. And you know what? In 99% of cases, I do agree. Robert Downey Jr. is a horrifying actor to see.
What about Will Smith?
I kind of find Will Smith charming. I kind of find him charming.
Sometimes.
But you know who I just thought about, though?
What?
Kevin Hart.
He was great in Borderlands, wasn't he?
Oh my god. That was terrible. I hated him. And I hate him in pretty much everything. He plays one character, and that's Kevin Hart. And Kevin Hart's character is a yelling guy. Like that's his whole thing. He's doing what's that actor from Rush Hour with Jackie Chan? It's the same bit. He's doing the same bit as the.
Was that Chris Tucker?
Guy. Chris Tucker.
Because he was on a plane with Jeffrey Epstein.
Amazing. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Thank you. But the same bit, right? Talk fast, and I guess like even Eddie Murphy kind of did that, but Eddie Murphy pulled it off better.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy's funny, and Kevin Hart and Chris Tucker don't really pull it off as well. But they have the same kind of comedy routine where they just talk really fast. they talk really fast, and when Eddie Murphy's like telling a lot of jokes, Chris Tucker and Kevin Hart aren't. So that's so Kevin Hart, don't like to see Kevin Hart in a movie.
Yeah.
And Chris Tucker you just don't see in a movie.
So in fucking Deadpool and Wolverine, right? There's a lot of fucking bits in this movie. Let's go through just so that the audience has some sort of summary of like what how painful the movie was exactly. Give me like a top 3 like worst bits. And we don't have to be strict about the number 3, but I wanted to start with, because we're already talking about it, the fucking the gag they had where fucking Wolverine is talking shit about Canada, or someone's talking shit about Canada. One of the time cops, I think, is talking shit about Canada, and Deadpool throws a sword in his mouth and says, "Keep my country's name out of your mouth." And they're doing it is very much delivered as if they're doing a fucking Will Smith at the Oscars bit in 2024.
Yep, they
extremely painful.
I didn't recognize it immediately, but the second Monk said it, I lost my mind. I was like, you can't be for real right now. Another time cop scene that I really fucking hated was when he had strapped dead Wolverine's hands to his hands and was stabbing with the hands, with the claw hands. He stabbed one time cop in the butt, like through the butt and balls and dick area, through there, right? And then the claws got stuck and he was like pulling on it, and another time cop runs up and he stabs that time cop in the dick and balls with the other claw, and then is yanking back and forth between the arms, and it's like sex. There's like humping motion going on. I thought that was stupid.
That was also about 5 seconds before the bit that I previously mentioned for context for the audience
Yeah, they
on the
really
density of
front-loaded
this
this.
shit.
Yeah.
They
Okay,
did
what
kind of
else?
front load the shit out of a lot of the fucking stupid bits in the movie, you know? Like they wanted to get everyone.
Yeah, they're like, we want to get you out of the theater as fast as possible if you're going to hate this movie.
And then it just became
yeah.
boring after a certain amount of time.
There was like the boring, it got boring, and then it kept yo-yoing between like boring exposition dumps, Deadpool making jokes about how long the exposition is for some people, and then being like, ha 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 ha, yeah, isn't this badly written? And then jumping back to bit after bit after bit for like another 5 minutes while people are killing each other. And it just like yo-yoing between these two speeds for the entire movie.
Yeah.
Hate that. Hate that.
Yeah, the movie has like no fucking chill. And like, I don't know. I don't want to say that the first two Deadpools were good movies, but I remember them being better than this, you know? I don't remember the first two Deadpool movies. Like, I know there were some meta jokes about the X-Men, but it was not like a constant fucking nonstop thing. And it felt like the characters had some sort of like motivation aside from like, it was not like a save the world type plot in the other. I mean, I guess it was, but it felt like the characters had motivations that made sense for them to have as characters, and not like, well, I have to do this because the world's going to end, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I only really remember the first Deadpool, and I remember it was like fine. That's about as good as I can say, you know?
I don't know.
This
and
one-
I don't remember fucking I don't think I didn't see Logan, which they do talk about a lot in this movie.
They do reference Logan a lot. I wonder if we missed anything. I don't really care.
I heard Logan is
But I
actually
would-
genuinely good.
Yeah, maybe. I just don't trust this comic book movie to be good, you know?
Fair.
It's so few and far between right now. I'm trying to think of I guess the Batman movies and that kind of stuff has been pretty good, but now I'm hearing that Joker Folie à Deux is
Do you think the third one's going to be
garbage.
Joker Menage a Trois?
I hope so. I legitimately hope so. I hope that it's Joker Menage a Trois, and what actually happens is that it's the story of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy falling in love and dumping the Joker. I think it'd be really funny and would really play thematically well with what's gone on in these movies, going from incel to like finding your dark twisted fantasy, and then going back into being like, I've been dumped and am now an incel again. It's a beautiful arc. That's what they should
It's like
do.
poetry, it rhymes.
Yeah. If George Lucas made this, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's. I wonder. Do you think George Lucas would have done a better job at this movie?
This movie?
Yeah. I think the effects would have been better.
I feel like there would be more fart jokes and less meta jokes.
Yeah, which
the effects would definitely be better. There wouldn't be any obvious moments where like Wolverine and Deadpool break the window in the back of a bus, and they come flopping out, and you can see how obviously CG they are as they're just standing there, especially Wolverine.
Yeah.
God.
Hugh Jackman looked like he did not want to be there for this entire fucking movie.
Yeah.
You think he's in like debt? That's my go-to assumption whenever I see someone in a movie and it seems like they shouldn't be in that movie, is like, oh, they bought a new yacht or some shit.
Yeah, I mean it's entirely possible. It seems really fucking it's just really heinous. And at the front end they're like, "Hey, it's beautiful fucking Deadpool." And everyone's like, "I hate beautiful Deadpool. He's so nice. Fuck him."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why they drag that on so long. When he dies,
Yeah.
they just drag it. It's just like, "Oh my god. Oh, it's the nice Deadpool."
It's like they came up with like
Oh.
one joke that like is not haha sex or haha poop or haha Disney. It's like the one joke in the movie that's not one of those three things, right? And
Mhm.
I'm not saying it's the best joke in the world, but I do think the idea could have been funny if they made the joke once and then that was
Yeah.
the joke.
Could have been funny for a second. And that I mean, they definitely didn't execute it well because even when it was happening in the movie at the beginning of that little fun little arc, it was garbage. But when it really dragged on and Deadpool was like, "Hey, I'm gonna really make sure this guy dies as I drag his corpse around and pretend to resuscitate it." Just like, I feel like people might think that this is something where I'm, like, disgusted, and that's not it. Not at all. Like, it's not disgusting, it's, like, stupid slapstick gore, right? It's just, like, really unfunny. Like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna take him to the donut stand to heal him," and Wolverine's like, "He's not gonna heal you. Like, there's nothing you can do over the donut
It does
stand."
like the classic like
And
fucking movie that's too self-conscious about its writing thing where it's
mhm.
like I'm going to explain the thing that's about to happen and then they're doing the thing and they're like this is what's happening and then well that just happened at the end of it, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
It's like I think that this could have been a really good movie and I think this could have been a really funny movie if they were willing to just let the premise of like Deadpool fighting a bunch of if they were willing to first of all like um the plot is no longer centered on like the Deadpool universe and is now about Deadpool killing as many superheroes as possible and they just
Mhm.
play up that angle of like the absurdity of like seeing all these MCU characters get played off and don't ever really make like Deadpool can still have his little like one-liners or whatever, but nix like fucking like 90% of the meta jokes. Um
Mhm.
and just let like the absurdity of like, oh, we've got this massive bloated like cinematic universe of superheroes and we've just got this one guy who's just running around killing all of them and let that be the joke, you know. But that would be too close to like self-awareness, I think, for a Disney executive to let they make this big joke in the movie about how the only thing they're not allowed to show is like someone using coke, which is maybe real. It seems like something that would be a real studio censor type thing.
Yeah,
But
potentially.
they also didn't have a sex scene, which they had sex scenes in the other fucking Deadpool movies. So I think there may have been other things that we're not allowed to show.
Yeah,
uh,
I would assume. It's just so fucking it's just so Monk, it's just so bad. It's, like, demoralizing how bad this movie is.
yeah.
I'm like, you know how many cool movies could get made with this budget? And this is what this is what gets made?
Hmm.
This is what you do? I'm just like, I mean, I don't have high expectations. I know that, you know, money goes towards the worst bullshit imaginable 90% of the time.
It's just
I have
worse
no
than you could have
illusions about this.
imagined.
This is just it's, like, not worse, it's just as bad as, like, I could imagine it being. Like, I've seen a lot of really bad movies, lately, especially lately, and I'm just like, "Okay, so there's, like, you know, there's a real ability out there to make the worst shit imaginable, I get it."
Yeah.
Um, but you'd think they'd be like, "Oh, well, maybe we should, like, work on that and try and make something better." But they don't. it's just been a steady decline for like the last 5 years. So much bad shit coming out. And like, don't get me wrong, there's still good movies, but the bottom end just keeps dropping. It keeps getting worse.
Yeah.
I just don't know how this is sustainable on any level. It's baffling. Like, as somebody who like would love to work in this industry at some point in my life, I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is that's never gonna happen because the worst things on the planet are getting made all the time and sucking up all of the money like a big sponge of like a big spongy shit that's just so full of water, and none of the water gets anywhere else. It's just all bundled up in this big spongy shit. Sorry, it's a little visceral, but like
I think there needs to be a crash. I think these, like, one of these fucking, like, I think some of these franchise movies are just going to have to perform like so poorly that the company can't justify making it. Because this is what happened with like, this is like a cycle that's happened in Hollywood before with like, there was an era where like musicals became like the big thing, and like there's so many fucking like extremely high budget musicals that became too big to fail. And eventually one of them failed. And then it happened with like Westerns as well. At a certain point. And like, I don't want to directly compare like the quality of like Westerns, musicals, and MCU movies, you know, more like the economic trends. Like if a company, like just mathematically speaking, if a company is making these movies that are too big to fail on a regular basis, one of them will eventually fail, right?
But Monk, the problem is that they keep failing. Like like Deadpool and Wolverine did not. This is like, shockingly, this movie made like $1 billion.
Yeah, well, this is the anti-woke one. So.
That's true. And it is, we haven't even touched on that part yet.
Do you think Ryan Reynolds is allowed to joke about the gays liking the Wizard of Oz? Is that a joke he's allowed to make?
I mean, yeah, that's fine, but like, I don't think it's his place, but also who cares, right? But just like, oh God, winning award. No, you can't tell me that they're winning awards for this movie.
Oh.
No. But straight up, yeah, the movie's like making all these jokes about how woke Hollywood is, and it's just like, are you kidding?
Okay,
are you actually joking?
We're being fed images of awards that this movie has won. These are not awards the movie has won. These are awards the trailer for the movie has won, and the most anticipated movie. These are not real awards.
We won 3 awards for our trailer.
Yeah, no.
Fucking killing. Wait, never mind. Mark.
Yeah. Yeah. How much did this movie make at the box office? How much are people paying to see this shit? I mean, we definitely paid to watch it, right? We definitely acquired this movie legally.
Yeah, we did. Oh,
opening
absolutely.
Budget
did not break a law.
Estimated $200 million gross worldwide. $1,327 million.
$1 billion. Yes, that is correct.
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
Yeah, people like this movie too. Like, I remember the overall perception on Twitter being positive when it came out. Now a lot of those people this is like the world where The Crow gets like fucking like 3% or whatever on Rotten Tomatoes, and this movie is like the fucking like darling of all the superhero nerds. Insane to me.
It's just like, are there just like a fucking million seals out there that whenever they see Deadpool they just start going like,
yeah,
I'm like devastated that there's like that that people like this that much. Because at least with the other movies that are bad, people like rightfully look at them and go like, yeah, that's bad, right? Like people look at fucking Madam Web and they're like, this is a bad movie.
Speaking of,
or they look at Megalopolis, they're like, it's bad. But they look at this and they're like, no, that's good. Are you stupid? Are you fucking idiot?
It's because I think, like, genuinely most people base their perception on what is bad or what is good entirely 100% off of the first person they see talking about the thing, you know? And don't think about it.
Yeah.
And then everything else they see after that is a post-hoc rationalization to the initial impression they had.
Yeah. God, I hate that monk.
People don't think about shit. Even the idea of like thinking about something is like alien to a lot of people, and it's a problem.
Yeah. No, you're right. I hate it. You're right.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so this movie exists.
Hey, you know what I just remembered? That
What's that?
Was in the movie. Remember when Wesley Snipes said the R word?
Oh, he did. That's right. He said the R word. He said redacted.
He just
straight up said that in the movie. What year? It's 1992. Don't you know? It's wild. It's like, oh, it's a Disney movie in 2024.
See, here's the thing: you're living in the liberal paradise of the PNW, whereas those of us in the shit,
I know.
The R word never went away in a lot of the country. People would be saying that shit to me like at work in Texas.
No, you're right, of course. But the thing is, it's like, you know, people also have, like, will just call people the F slur, myself included. I got like in 2017, I got called like the F slur at work. I'm like, by a coworker, and motherfucker didn't know I was gay, and was like, what are you, some sort of thing? And I was just like, yeah. And that was just fine. That was just fine. I mean, yes, but like, I did have his dick in my mouth at the time, but no, but like, you know, it's like this stuff's always happening, of course, right? It's just like, is it like generally acceptable, or is it like the like the thing that people
that's
say?
What I'm saying.
Like
It's
edgy,
like
right?
the fucking R word was a generally acceptable thing for most of the country and never stopped being one, as my perception of it.
Was it just the coastal elites? Us coastal elites?
I do genuinely think it's a regional thing. I do genuinely, like, people in like very blue cities and very blue states were more like progressive about not saying that. But like, because I do think there are places in the country where the social norm is you shouldn't say it. But in fucking the South, right? Like that's like never been like, that's never been the case where there was like a shift in like that word's acceptability.
And I just need everyone to get on the same page, because I need to know if I'm able to say it. Okay. I need to know if I'm supposed to get mad at people. I need to know if it's okay for me to say it.
The line I fucking landed on is I don't like saying it. And
I don't like saying it either.
I'm not gonna fucking like, it's just not a battle I feel the need to fight when other people say it around me.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
these other hills I will die on first.
Monk, 100%. I am in the same exact boat. Every once in a while I hear somebody say it and I'm just like, you lovely, lovely child. I'm so happy for you that you found words that you enjoy. I don't want to say it at all. Like, there's other words that I'm not okay with it, you know, in my presence. But that's one that I'm just kind of like, yeah, you know, people say it, I understand, you know?
Yeah. Maybe one day you'll heal. It's not my job to fix you.
It's not good, but I can't fix you. I'm not going to be like, hey, stop saying that. Stop describing me. Shut up. Yeah.
It was okay when they said it in the Batman gay porn movie, though. Or it wasn't even gay. What the fuck are you fucking talking about?
That was straight porn.
That was
come on
straight porn. I just assume porn is gay.
I mean, porn is generally pretty gay. The strangest. I don't know. I thought it was really funny. What was it? Was it Bill Engvall had a bit about that where he was like, oh yeah, fucking,
You're watching a dude get his
do you
dick
like
sucked, huh?
you like watching a dude have sex? You like watching that? You want you like it when his dick is big? Oh, you like it when his dick's really big? Yeah. Ain't that a little bit gay? See, it's okay. And that's like, I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty true, isn't it? That's pretty true, isn't it?
Hey Brian, I want you to go to the
you know-
Letterboxd page for. By the way, I see you already reviewed
Okay.
this movie on Letterboxd. I want you to go to the
Yeah.
Letterboxd page for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Are you there?
Yep.
You see the top left where the Letterboxd logo is?
Stop. Monk?
Yeah.
Fuck this gayer. Oh god, that's so. It's really only for that too. People like it so much that Letterboxd is like, oh well, the red dot for Letterboxd, we're gonna change it to the Deadpool mask. Cool. Is it for any of the other Deadpool movies?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think so.
It
Oh,
is.
yes, it is.
It is.
Damn. I have to start
It
looking
is.
for this on other movies. Like on Venom, does it have it? No. What about like well, that's fucking weird as hell. I don't know. Did Disney pay
it's
for
just
that?
Maybe. I wouldn't be shocked, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, we're really against the grain here, not liking Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody we know liked it. Oh, beautiful Colin. Beautiful Colin gave it 3.5 stars. Actually, multiple people I know, including people who I do expect to have better opinions about things.
I don't
Unlike
see Colin giving this movie 3.5 stars.
I do. I'm looking at it.
Oh, you're
right
looking
now.
at Deadpool 1.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank fucking God. Okay. Oh,
Colin
you just saved my opinion of a lot of people.
Colin DM'd me about an evil plan earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's Colin's evil plan?
I need to send a thumbs up
Or am I not
reaction
allowed?
to this. You're not allowed to know.
Okay.
Speaking of evil plans, do we have anything else to say about this movie, or do we want to move to voicemails?
I want to get away from this fucking movie.
Okay.
This anti-woke movie about the bisexual pervert Deadpool and his crush on I don't know, the world, and Wolverine being like, I hate gay people through the entire movie. I'm just done with it, you know.
Oh yeah. So we got a Shroggy Doggy bringing down the house. Let's play this shit.
Yo, Troggy Doggy. Real quick points. Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill are Arkham Joker and Batman as well. They reprised their roles, but they are canonically different characters. I don't think they are Dark Knight related, other than like the only reason the games happened is because the movies happened, which is kind of the same way that the animated series happened is because of the 89, 88 Batman happened. But I digress. Also, Sesame Street characters, the Muppets are Muppets. They are canonically Muppets. They do interact from time to time. I think mine would be Kermit and Bert and Ernie. I think they work well together as a couple, and it would be fun to see them both relax and bounce off each other. All right, y'all have a good week. Thank you.
What were we talking about with the fucking Muppets again?
Your Muppet fucking blunt rotation.
That's right. Okay. I heard bounce off each other and I was like, hold on now. I don't remember talking about Muppets fucking, and thank goodness. Okay.
Can you imagine the fucking munchies that would be happening if fucking Cookie Monster was smoking a blunt?
Ooh, sheesh. You're so right about that.
And also, I think I did say that Arkham, Joker, and Batman are Dark Knight related in the last episode. So I know they're a different canon. I'm just going off of the visual style they have, which is clearly, I think, based off of the Dark Knight, given that it had released at around the same time. And the Joker, he doesn't look exactly like the Heath Ledger Joker, but he does the same fucking raggedy ass makeup. And that Batman is absolutely a Dark Knight style Batman. Like, so much of the visual aesthetic and like soundscape and even the soundtrack of that movie is directly tied to the Dark Knight. Even though they are separate continuities and not technically related. It's like the 2005 Ang Lee Hulk movie, or 2003. I think I said it was 2005 and I looked it up and it was 2003. That movie, it's not an MCU movie, but the MCU still like bases a lot of shit off of it, even though it's not canon.
Okay.
Anyway.
I don't know what we're talking about, like, at all. I'm like so lost at the moment.
I think I'm the only person left on this earth who gives a single shit about the 2003 Ang Lee Hulk movie because it was bad.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't remember that one. I remember the Edward Norton one, and actually, I remember liking it, but I was also a child, so
it's not very good.
Don't trust, right? Yeah, I believe it's not very good.
The Edward Norton one is the one that's canon to the MCU, even though they did decide that Edward Norton was not going to be Bruce Banner anymore and replaced him with Mark Ruffalo.
They're like, okay, we got Mark Ruffalo. And you know what? I do love Mark Ruffalo, so
I'm okay with Mark Ruffalo. I do love Edward Norton though, so it's hard to and I'm not really a fan of the Hulk either way, so I don't really have a dog in this fight, I think.
Yeah, I don't think the Hulk's like the most compelling character by any means.
No.
Yeah. But he's a character, he's out there.
What are we gonna watch next week? We've got a few things floating around, right? A few ideas percolating.
I mean, my heart is on continuing the train of Batman movies. And I don't think we're going to be able to watch Joker La Folie à Deux. But but if we could, I mean, but I do. Fuck it. We should see if we can get Joker Folie à Deux for next week.
I do want to do that. I do think that I have a limited number of times I can go to the movie theater in a week, and my priority is still seeing Megalopolis and then the Joker. So maybe we'll figure out the logistics, but maybe we can do like a Robert Pattinson something, to pass the time.
Actually, that'd be really good to do that, especially because the Penguin's out now.
Is it?
We could do. Oh, have you not seen Penguin the show?
No.
Oh, Monk. Oh, Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Literally disappears into the role. It's wild and interesting. Honestly, really good.
Is that in the same continuity as Patton Men?
It is. Okay. It's in the same one as Pattinson Batman.
Interesting.
And it's nuts. It's really good. I've been enjoying the fuck out of it. I don't know how much longer it's going to be going. But it's the introduction of who the Penguin is, and it's really cool.
Well, if you want to be really cool, you can subscribe to us on Patreon.
That's true.
That's at our Patreon URL that I definitely remember, and I'm not stalling for time so that I can.
Why would you? Yeah.
Why would I need to stall for time?
Yeah,
when
why would
they
you
just
say
know it,
it?
and I don't
You just
need
know it
to.
off the top of your head.
Yeah, I'm definitely not figuring out where to find it too. This is at patreon.com/edgingpodcast. You know, the name we use for everything we can.
Yeah.
We got edgelordpod@gmail.com. That one's not Edging Podcast. 920-350-3343. That's 920-350-EDGE for the Edging Hotline.
Edge.
I'm cursedmonk. You can curse me wherever monks live.
Sure.
We're on Twitter too.
Etc. Yeah.
Twitter.com
Sure.
Edging Podcast. Fuck off with this X bullshit.
Yeah. X. Next. That's what I gotta say.
That voice you're hearing, making that fucking dumbass joke, that's Briantrash /Trashcan1312.
Hello. You can follow me on TikTok, on Twitter,
TikTok,
on Blue Sky. You could probably find me on LinkedIn. I occasionally stream on Twitch again. I'm working on that. So do come through to the Twitch. You won't. If you got that joke, you should definitely come through because you like music, and I do like talking about music. Yeah. Anyways,
shout out to
thanks for coming through.
Zephyrrias2222 for subscribing to us on the YouTube channel. Listening to podcasts on the YouTube benefits us literally less than any other place you could possibly listen to it. So thank you.
Check us out on. Thank you for checking us out there. Please check us out everywhere else. YouTube's fine, but anywhere else is better.
If you sub to the Patreon, you can look at the YouTube. I won't be mad at you.
It's true. That's true. Oh shit.
Alrighty. Well,
oh god. Yeah.
I guess that's all, folks.
Safe travels, everyone.
Don't let the bedbugs bite.